everyone, this is Nadia Janae, and today I'm coming to you with a cooking video. I'm whipping up dinner because my husband is on 24-hour duty and he's going to be home early for dinner, like 5 o'clock. So right now it's like 3:30, so I'm trying to go ahead and get dinner ready so he can eat when he come home and relax before he has to go back to work to finish his duty. Today we're going to be making turkey meatballs and like a Mediterranean style orzo. It has sun-dried tomatoes, spinach, of course lemon and orzo in it. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So first things first, I'm gonna get my meatballs prepared, and I don't like touching meat because for one, I have eczema, and for two, I just don't want my hands itching, or you know, if I don't have to touch it, why touch it? So I have some gloves here, and also I have, let me get my bowl out of the way. I have some ground turkey, 93% lean, and it's Shady Brook Farms brand. That noise is actually my oven. It's preheating, but it just finished preheating. So right now what I'm gonna do is go ahead and mix up my meatballs. I don't see why you couldn't use prepackaged meatballs, but of course, you know, it's always good to use your own meatballs. That noise, that was my dryer. I didn't even realize it was on. But I'm gonna show you what seasonings I have already set aside. I have a half teaspoon of garlic powder. I have a half teaspoon of this adobo, and it's the brand La Preferita adobo. It's an all-purpose seasoning. This has pepper in it, and I really like this. I bought it like a month ago or maybe less, and it's almost gone. And I got this at the commissary, but I don't see why it wouldn't be in the spice section or maybe the Hispanic aisle. And this has salt in it, so you will notice I did not put any salt in the meat or in the seasoning mix, because it already has salt in this, and it also has salt in this, which is the Goya complete seasoning, or the total complete seasoning. Everybody should know about that. So this has salt, and then the adobo has salt, so I don't put extra salt in there. A half teaspoon of the garlic powder, the adobo, and the complete. And I put 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And that's all the seasoning I'm going to put in there. I'm just going to dump that in and go ahead and mix it up. So I just combined that together, and I don't really normally use any type of measurement when I make meatballs, but I think for this I don't want them too big, so I might use like a tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon actually, to get them all uniform so some don't cook faster than the other. And I'm going to be putting them on a lined baking sheet. I have my oven at 400 degrees, and I'm going to bake them for about 30 minutes because I know I can finish cooking them in the skillet, but I really just want to cook them most of the way and then probably brown them in the skillet, because to be real, meatballs in the oven don't get brown, especially when you're making them from raw meat. So I'm going to finish browning them in the skillet, and I will get back to you when I am complete. Well, these are all of my meatballs. That was actually 1 pound of turkey, and that made 15 meatballs. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in my 400 degree preheated oven. And I'm going to wash some dishes while that cooks, and I'll come back to you when I put on the orzo. Okay, so right now I am getting the orzo boiled up. I'm using the Badia brand Orzo. And it only calls for 1 cup. The directions is for the whole box. But I thought to just cook it the way you would rice. I know it's pasta, but I have 1 cup of Orzo here. And I put 2 cups of rice in the pot, and it is boiling. And I'm gonna go ahead and stir that up. And it says on the directions to cook it for about 9 minutes for it to be al dente, which is what I'm gonna do. And with this recipe, you are gonna add it to the skillet so it'll continue to cook. So I may cook it about 8 minutes, and I'm just adding, it's not sea salt in here, it's actually pink Himalayan salt. And I'm just adding that in the water to give the pasta some flavor. And I am going to turn the eye down just a bit so it doesn't boil too rapidly. Now what I have in front of me is a preheated skillet. I did have it on high, but I just turned it down to medium. As you can see, my meatballs have been in the oven for 30 minutes, and I'm now going to brown them in the skillet, excuse me. In the skillet. They're pretty brown, but I do want to get some more brownness on them. And I have some olive oil here, and this is the extra virgin olive oil, and I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons. If you see a mess behind me, I'm washing clothes right now, and if you hear any noise, so I'm just going to go ahead. And like I stated, my skillet is hot. But you shouldn't be afraid of a little grease, especially if you're cooking. I am going to chop up some ingredients that I have. Right here, I have some sun-dried tomatoes, 6 to 7 of them, and I'm just going to roughly chop them. And again, that's 6 to 7 sun-dried tomatoes chopped up. I have 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I did use the pre-minced garlic.
Mommy, can I help you?
Can you help me? Sure, baby. Give me just a moment and I'll let you help me. He loves to help, and I did not expect him to want to help. I have 1/3 cup of chicken stock right here.
It's hot.
I have half of a lemon, the juice of half of a lemon, and then I have, what's that? You know what that is?
Yes.
I have 2 teaspoons of butter.
Butter.
Yes, and then a bunch of spinach. I am going to do a rough chop on the spinach. Baby, can you go wash your hands for me, please?
Yes.
With some soap. Little boys, I tell you. So I'm gonna just do a rough chop. It doesn't have to be uniform, and you know it wilts down, so either way, you just don't want extra big pieces of spinach. And I know you may be thinking, like, you know, how can he really help? And mainly I just have him put stuff in the skillet, like, you know, the ingredients, or if I chop something up, have him put it in the bowl. So that's what I'll have him do, is go ahead and put the spinach in the bowl. Here, come back up here.
Put the spinach in the bowl?
Yeah, put that spinach in the bowl. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn my meatballs over. And once they brown, I will have to take them out because I have to get the spinach and the garlic and stuff in the skillet, and I'll show you that. Alright, so we took the brown meatballs out, and now we're going to add our other ingredients in the skillet. And I have my little helper here. Come on, baby. So we have the spinach.
Ooh, it's really hot.
And that was just a bunch of spinach. If you like more, add more. If you like less, add less. Come on. We have 2 to 3 tablespoons of garlic. Okay. 6 to 7 sun-dried tomatoes.
Okay.
And no, not yet, baby. And we're going to mix this up. And I am using a skillet that has a non-stick coating, so I don't use metal utensils. I always use a wooden or silicone type of utensil. And we're just going to saute that really quickly. And one thing I forgot was some salt. You want to put the salt in? Alright. You know how to do it? Watch your hand. And when you're cooking with the child, you always have to be mindful of where they're putting their hand, or, you know, sometimes they don't pay attention. So I'm always very cautious when he comes to help me in the kitchen.
No more.
And this smells really good. Oh. If you make this, you will love how it smells. So right now we're going to add the chicken stock. And again, that's 1/3 cup of chicken stock. And we're going to let that come to a bubble in the skillet. As it comes to a bubble, I'm going to go ahead and add my meatballs back in there.
Meatballs? What are meatballs?
These are meatballs.
Can I help you?
Sure. Okay, stay right here. You gotta grab it. You gotta open it up. There you go, good job. Open it up. Got it? There you go, good job.
I can do it all by myself.
Oh, you got it? Independent toddler, whoop whoop. Well, is a 4-year-old a toddler? Let me know. Well, I still call him a toddler. If a 4-year-old isn't a toddler, please inform me so I can stop saying it. You're doing so good.
Oops. The meatball.
And you know, at 4, they do want to be very independent. And it's not hard to, you know, help them enjoy their independence. What they can do. Uh-oh. That one's giving me some issues. Got 2 more. You want me to help you? That'll work.
It did work.
And get the last one. There you go. Good job. And I'm going to stir that. And last but not least, let's add the lemon juice. So now we're going to add the last few ingredients, which is the Orzo. And I have that here. I already had it set aside. And with Orzo, it does get like sticky, and I was kind of concerned that 1 cup would be too much for my family, because I know we're not a fan of leftovers. We eat them sometimes, but depending on what it is, we won't eat it more than once. So I'm not going to use the rest of this. I think that's enough Orzo. And we're going to get the butter. Go ahead. Thank you.
I just dumped it out.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we're going to mix it up. Watch your hand, baby.
Okay. Can I help you mix it up?
Sure.
Should we? Supposed to do this.
And once the butter is melted, you can go ahead and taste it and see if it's to your liking. If not, add whatever seasonings you fancy. I know I'm going to taste it, and I'll let you know what seasonings I add. All right, so I went ahead and tasted the Orzo. It has a great lemony flavor, but I love pepper. So I'm going to add some pepper in there. As much as you want. And also, I want to add a little bit of complete. No, I changed my mind. I have the perfect seasoning. I have the Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning, and this is a great seasoning if you're wanting to add flavor to something. So I'm going to add some of that in there. And if you'll notice, that didn't take long. Like I said, the meatballs took 30 minutes. If you use prepackaged meatballs, they do have turkey prepackaged meatballs. It won't take you but about 30 to 45 minutes to make this, and it looks delicious, right? And it tastes delicious as well. The last ingredient, which is optional in my opinion, I'm not a big cheese fan all the time, but my husband is, so I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese in it. Well, this is a 5 cheese blend. Fresh Parmesan would be better, but of course, as a mother, you work with what you have. You know, can always go out and get some fresh Parmesan. So whatever you have will work just fine. A lot, a little bit, it's your preference. And I'm just going to add that in there and let it melt. And at this point, the heat is turned off because everything is done. The meatball's done, the Orzo is done. The sun-dried tomatoes did not have to be cooked, but of course we heat them up. The spinach is wilted, and that is a easy weeknight elevated dinner, guys. Date night. This is the perfect meal. A glass of wine for those of you who drink. If you don't, completely fine. But I feel like this is a very nice meal that you can share with someone you love. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe, and let me know if you want any other recipes. I'll be happy to do them for you. Oh, I just tasted that like a full bite with the turkey sausage, the Orzo, everything. This is delicious. I promise, if you make this, you will not regret it. It is such a delicious meal, simple, easy, and it's healthy. Spinach, sun-dried tomatoes, turkey, very lean, very healthy, not much fat. You all make this recipe. You will not regret it. And don't forget to say Nadia taught you how to make it.